good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rob Santiago. I'm the Commissioner of Veteran Services here in the city of Boston, and I always take an opportunity to thank Mayor Michelle Wu for giving me the awesome responsibility to be the Veterans Commissioner for the best city in the country, Boston, Massachusetts. One of the things that falls on me and part of my responsibility is to ensure that we continue to recognize and honor our heroes that serve their country that are from Boston. And today is going to be no different. And it's something that we don't take lightly because we know what it means, not just to the family, but what it means to the community, what it means to the city, the state, and also this great nation that we live in. That we need to honor and recognize our heroes. And when we honor and recognize our heroes, we also honor and recognize the families, because our service members, when they serve, when they wear the uniform, they wear it and their families are alongside with them. Their families are always two steps beside them in their memory, in their hearts, and always with them. So I wanted to thank the Cappuccio family all for being out here and wanting to do this for Joe. Now Joe is a true American hero. He was a Marine. And not a Marine, he is a Marine. I gotta make sure to say that and say that properly. And no better day to recognize Joe Cappuccio, the United States Marine, than today. A day that here in the city of Boston, we kicked off Marine Corps Week this morning at City Hall Plaza and the Boston Common. And when I approached the Marines about possibly having a Marine Corps contingent and representation here, there was no hesitation whatsoever. It happened immediately. I didn't even have to say go or where it was at. Just tell us where to be. And as you can see, we have a great amount of Marines that are with us here today. And it's very heartwarming for me, not as a commissioner, but as a veteran myself. You know, to see the Marines here, to see them recognizing one of theirs. You know, and one thing about Joe, when I was talking to his daughter about Joe, was where he served. He served in Iwo Jima. Not only did he serve in Iwo Jima, he fought in Iwo Jima, one of the most deadliest, bloodiest battles that we won in World War II, and he was there. But I won't say much about that. I'll leave it to the family to talk more about that. But it's very important. It's very important not just for us, but for those kids that are here today too, that when they walk these streets, they see Joe Cappuccio sign up there, they know who he is, and that he was a son of Boston that came from here in Roslindale. So that's very important. At this time, I want to call up here our mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu, who knew him well, and she has a little guest with her.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Santiago, for all that you do. Thank you for your leadership, and we are so grateful and excited to be hosting Marine Week in the city of Boston. It was a remarkable kickoff earlier. If anyone has not yet gotten to the Boston, it's a good thing about being at home. Thank you. If anyone has not gotten to see the display on the Boston Common, please go check it out. It's absolutely breathtaking, and my kids got to see it earlier, and to get not only to see the impressive ability of the sort of strongest force in the world, but also to meet one-on-one the incredible people and leaders who are keeping that legacy going now 250 years and counting, just like the city of Boston's role in kicking off our country and our democracy. We're here to celebrate someone who saw a large chunk of that history in the city of Boston. We would not be here today recognizing the freedoms that we have without Joe's service and the role that he played throughout his years of service as a Marine, throughout his careful care of this neighborhood. As a next door neighbor, Joe was everywhere for us. It was, many houses in neighborhoods like this one will have fences up to make sure people know where the property line is, and to just kind of make sure that, when you have tight quarters, you want to maximize every bit of green space. Joe has never had a fence up between the houses. And we would come home sometimes a weekday night, and he'd already have the table laid out. He was cooking and grilling, and then whatever plans we had, we were going to be there and spend the night with Joe. And as someone who is raising a family, I most of all miss and cherish how he would be with kids. That every time he would see my little guys, he would run over, make sure to give them a friendly little back and forth and a huge hug. He had the love that overpowered an entire neighborhood. And so, although I am very proud to be mayor of Boston, the true mayor of Roslindale was and continues to be Joe Cappuccio. We would see him on his walks 3 miles all around this area with neighbors, all until he reached maybe 98 years old, 99 years old. He was still going on those 3-mile walks. One year, one day, my husband Connor came home, and Joe was, he must have been 97 or 96 at that time. He was up on the garage himself, cleaning the gutters of the garage and going out, doing all the yard work, making sure that those tomatoes were perfect every single year. I know Mr. Frizzoco. Yeah, and making sure that the entire neighborhood would have some of what he could share. So I miss Joe so dearly. I see him reflected in all of his beautiful, beautiful family members. And I cherish the opportunity that we had, the incredible memory to celebrate his 100th birthday 2 times. Once at the police station, because Joe was a force that we are so grateful for. Right here, usually in this spot, is where the E5 police car is parked, that is here keeping our family and our neighborhood safe. And Joe would be right outside, next by the driver's side window, keeping the police officer safe, day and night. And so we were able to celebrate with him at the station and have a lovely event with him. And then we were able to have a larger event that the family had organized, where I got to meet some of the great grandchildren that Joe has poured his legacy into. So thank you to the entire Cappuccio family. Thank you for Joe's service and sacrifice. Thank you for the love that he has forever changed our city with, and we miss him now and always will. This block party also, which is a separate event that's starting right after this, is never going to be the same without him. That's why we may just put his picture up every single year at the block party. He knew every single person, and this was his day, where all of his friends and all of his constituents came out to see him. So we are holding many events today in his memory, and I just thank you. And now, every time that we come out at his corner here, we will forever remember what he's meant to this neighborhood and this community. So thank you so much to Commissioner Santiago, to Captain Haggerty, to Colonel Valenti, and our Roslindale Neighborhood Liaison, Josh McCorkle, to all of the neighbors who are gathered here, and to my colleagues in elected office. So before we hand it over to family members and our representatives from the Marines, I want to invite up State Representative Rob Consalvo and City Councilor Enrique Pepin if they want to say a word.
I'll be very brief because this is your day, but I do just want to say the family's day. But I do want to just say I couldn't be more proud to be here today. I've been friends with Mr. Cappuccio since 1995 when I started as a legislative aide for Rep. Angelo Sciascia. As a city councilor, we did many events together, the Sons of Italy. When I was director of the Boston Home Center, and we wanted to pick our first place to kick off the city's new heating system program for seniors. We did it right here at Joe Cappuccio's house. We did the press conference in the backyard, and he stole the show, of course. And he was always so thankful that we were able to do that program, and just always grateful for his friendship. I was honored to be at the 100th birthday celebration. I wouldn't have missed it, and I have many fond memories. But most importantly, with this dedication today, we thank him and all our veterans for their service. To the Marines that are here and for all those who have served, we thank you every day for your service and sacrifice. Thank you. Councilor Pepin.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Just very honored to be at this event, and thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to speak. You know, when I met Mr. Cappuccio for the first time, when I was door knocking on Augustus, and he pulled me aside for about an hour, so he took me away from door knocking. Did you just watch? No, I wish. But we spoke a lot about the importance of just being in community, and what I realized about him is that he never stopped serving. You know, he may have been a Marine he was always a Marine, but even after he left, he was serving his community in a way. And he told me about the importance of just putting people first, and about putting my heart first in anything that I do, and that's what really has stuck with me until this day. And I'm very honored that we get to see his name up there in the corner. It's just a little symbol of recognition and honor of his life and work in the community. So I'm just so happy to meet the family members, happy to see members of the Marine here. I'm just thankful to the mayor for doing this dedication for Mr. Cappuccio. Thank you so much for having me here.
Diane, and any of the family members, we'd love to have you say a few words.
Thank you all for coming. This is very emotional. My dad would be so proud and so tearful. He looked like a strong man, but he was a very sensitive man. And he would have loved this. I thank you all to the bottom of all our hearts. Thank you. I just want to say, Dad never spoke about his service at all. We did not find out that he served in Iwo Jima until about 2 months before April. His birthday was April 4th, and we found out probably the last week of March through Andrew Biggio, who I don't know, maybe some of you know, but he's now a police officer, and he wrote a book. He's from East Boston, wrote a book, and one of the police officers from here, Parks here, told Andrew that you gotta meet this guy, you gotta see this guy, he's amazing. So Andrew came and he had Dad sign a rifle, and he looked Dad's information up. And sure enough, I had called him just to introduce myself. And I said, what's this, you're doing a book, you wrote a book, blah, blah, blah. And he said, yeah. He said, your father, I looked up his, military history. And he said, your father served on Iwo Jima. And I said, no, I don't think so. He goes, you want to make a bet? So he sent me the proof. I called my brothers and I said, you're not going to believe this. So I talked to Dad and I said, Dad, you were on Iwo Jima? And he goes, I don't talk about it. It's in my head, I don't talk about it. So he wouldn't talk about it. But anyway, that's his story. So, Mayor Wu, I want to thank you so much for this. You are an amazing woman. Thank you. And my father thought very highly of you. He praised you all the time. And we want to thank the Boston Police Department for being friends with my dad, and they were like his buddies. They loved him, He was out here all the time talking to the cops. He said, there's no one else to talk to, everybody works, so I talk to him. So he loved you guys very much. And I also want to thank the Marines, U.S. Marine Corps. You men are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you. Thank you for your service. God bless America. Thank you.
Michelle, let's say something. They weren't hitting the cops, they're not here for you. You're my father.
He always said that. He said, they're not here for me. They're here for me.
Hey, thank you. So, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Steve Valenti. I was asked to say a couple words here, and this is a complete honor. And I was not going to pass this opportunity up. So, Mayor Wu, thank you for the invite. Commissioner Santiago, this is truly an honor. To be in this city, this community, it's like the streets of Boston. This is as American as it gets, and it's the spirit of freedom. You could feel it. The birth of freedom, it resonates in this city. This nation it runs on the spirit of Boston here. It's resilient, and it's got this unshakable love. And everyone that we've interacted with in these last couple of days has represented that spirit and that bond. For the Marine Corps, this week, for us in particular, it's to bond with the country, bond with the nation. Between Boston and the country's core, and we're doing that in all sorts of ways. This is a more intimate, a very special opportunity to do something in this nature. But in celebrating our 250th birthday, it's extremely important to pause and honor those that have served in the past. It's Joe, Joe, he's one of our own. I could have listened to these stories and I could have told you he was a Marine without knowing he was a Marine. He's the embodiment of what a Marine represents and how they treat and work with people outside of the Marine Corps when they're going back and to be citizens. Thinking about his service to the country, he's part of the greatest generation, the great generation. That was his generation. And like me, what's special, the connection that I found with him in reading his history is that he's an Italian American, and that's important. That's because it doesn't matter the background, where you came from. You put on this uniform, you're a Marine for life. You're a Marine forever. Italian Americans, and you see it here. You come from strong families with strong beliefs. You're resilient. You're loyal. He made a phenomenal Marine, and he made a phenomenal man, and we see that. There's a forever bond between this once a Marine, always Marine mindset. It's true and it resonates in our heart. You hit it. His service in the Pacific. If you think about that, he helped secure the freedom that we love today and we take for granted today. He was part of that history, part of the history of America, and more so in the Marine Corps. Iwo Jima is one of the most important battles in our history, in Marine Corps history. Iwo Jima is at the top. His life reminds us of the values that for us Marines we have to uphold. We must hold to it. Just say a couple of things before I pass the mic. And it's important to say it to friends, to families. Know that he's not a Marine that was remembered, he's a Marine that will always be remembered. And just understand that for us, we look at this as his watch has ended, his watch is completed, and we have the watch now. We have the watch. We're going to take his mantle, his stories, his history, his pride, his belonging, and we're going to carry that on. So, yeah, I mean, he represented it. He represented the true embodiment of a Marine and of America and of an American. So we honor him today, and in a relationship like this, we will always remain faithful. And for us, that's Semper Fidelis, and I'll end it there. Thank you.
Well, that concludes this ceremony for Joe. Joe will always be remembered in this street corner, and now I know when I drive by here, and we'll always see that sign and thank him for his service every day, and thank his families for his service. And I, again, sincerely want to thank the Marine Corps for being here and honoring one of their own. Thank you.